Okay, so this is what happened in small claims court and EPO court. I already knew her argument because she's just a basic, simple bitch by definition. I knew she was gonna go in there and say she's trying and can't afford to pay me back quickly. I knew she'll try and use my basic human emotion and manic responses to her betrayal to dehumanize me and stereotype me as a threat. I even know she'd say that she doesn't know what happened to my Macy's employee. I don't know. Because when people lie, they typically start with, oh no. So here's what happens in small claims. Thursday, November 28th. I come into court, like I come into the hallway, I come up. So of course I take the escalator up to the floor that small claims is on. I see her, and I see a man next to her, and it's Raymond, of course, because she ain't got no car, she a broke bitch, so she had to run back to the nigga that she didn't want to go back to, and that's why she asked me for money. Um, I just am pissed. So I start calling her a gold digger, just like casually. I'm like, gold digger. I was like, no, I go sit by her. I'm like, we wouldn't even be here right now if you just give me back my money. And so she's recording me, she's videotaping me because she hasn't revealed to me that she's fabricated and filed a false EPO in retaliation. So she's accumulating evidence as proof. Maybe if she put this much effort into working last year, neither of us would be in this situation. So anyway, cooning ass Raymond, who I'm sure she's fucking real good right now. She's reaping the benefits of my money because I done sent that hoe back to him and she ain't got nobody. This nigga's being fucked real good right now. And so he wants to stand on my money too and run and tell a cop that I'm taunting her. Don't be a coon your whole life, Raymond, because you're running out of time. So anyway, we go inside the courtroom. And the judge asks if anyone wants to settle out of court. I say no. She speaks up as though she's still dictating the moment, still thinking she sets the standard over me. The judge questions me as to why I wouldn't want to settle instead of dealing with court proceedings and such. I say I'll explain when it's my turn to testify. There were other cases to be heard on the docket that day, and this was a group discussion. She lies, says she's made one payment and has tried to make another, but I refunded it. Says I said I'd hit her. Finally, she springs the mention of the emergency protective order she filed, but says she didn't know if it'd been served. I hadn't received it until the following day. I was pissed. How dare this bitch? Because all I've ever done is tried to help her. She told the judge that I'm defaming her character. Bitch, you gotta have character to defame first. Give me my fucking money, ho. Judge obviously rules in my favor. Judge says anyone that loans someone $600 is a good person. Tiffany sticks to her guns with Raymond beside her as court adjourns, pleading to the judge, inquiring about how she can protect herself from me. I chuckle in disbelief and exit the courtroom. The following day, the sheriff delivered an emergency protective order to my residence. But anyway, because I won in small claims court, she now owes me $600 and court fees, which equal to $725. And since she lost in small claims court, it goes on her credit report. Okay, so here's what happened in court for the emergency protective order that following Tuesday, November 23rd. I barely make it on time because I'm hustling trying to make my rent money and bills. I stormed into the courtroom during the trial of another case. EPO court is different from small claims because in EPO court, each case is heard individually and the courtroom belongs to that case while all other cases wait in the hallway until they're called. I apologize and wait outside. They call us in. Tiffany starts spewing all these fabricated accusations about my character because of her biphobia. I chuckle as a defense mechanism. The judge stops Tiffany and yells at me that I'm not respecting court. And I understand why she was yelling, because there are literal men out here stalking women. But that ain't me. That ain't me. Anyway, Tiffany literally stood in court and tried to separate herself from my $725, saying I'm gay and I'm stalking her because I thought she was pretty and I'm gay and I like her and I'm harassing her and I'm defaming her character and mentions that I'm gay about 3 more times. When it was my turn to speak, I started speaking and defending myself manically, spurting 1,000 words a minute like I do. Sorry, I'm so emotional, but I'm manic, Your Honor, and I shouldn't even be here right now because I haven't even been around her. And all I told her was that she needs to have the man that she chooses to invest in support her because I was tired of overexerting myself for someone who wouldn't do the same for me. I've done nothing but try to help her. This is retaliation because I loaned her $600 and she lost in small claims court last week. And I just want my money back. I'm sure I rambled off some other stuff. The judge then addressed Tiffany again, asking if we'd ever had a romantic or sexual relationship. Tiffany said no. Judge asked if I'd ever hit on her. Tiffany said no. Judge asked her to produce where I told her I'd hit her. She couldn't. Let me interject here that I did post on Facebook that I felt like hitting her, but feeling like it and doing it are two different things. And I get that you are not supposed to hit women, and there's no record of me anywhere ever hitting a woman, okay? But the way the egregious disrespect from this woman, at some point, when does she become human? Because she's targeting me and stealing from me, okay? But she prints out where I said I wanted to hit her. And so she said it so definitively that for a moment there, I thought I actually told her that. Or that I said I was going to. But no, I said I felt like it. I didn't say I was going to, and I definitely didn't say that shit to her. So she couldn't produce where I said it to her. The judge asked Tiffany to produce any proof, and Tiffany is desperately grasping for straws to support her fabricated lies and blurts out, well, he said he was going to drag me in court. The judge, the staff, and security all registered what she said. They look at me. I look back. Then the judge moves on because at this point it's apparent Tiffany's just a dumb bitch. Even her old man boyfriend Raymond sat in the back with his head down and tail tucked because he knew he was on the wrong side of this case. Judge told Tiffany EPO court is for former couples and advising Tiffany that she was welcome to file a civil suit if she felt the need. I literally saw all the spirit leave Tiffany's body within that moment because she can't afford that. She a broke bitch. So eventually the judge had heard enough of me. She said she'd heard me and that I'd won. At this point, Tiffany still has my money and has put me through needless turmoil So I continued to taunt her as we left the courthouse. But she couldn't even look at me because obviously I bruised the basic bitch's poor little homophobic ego. Because think about it, stalking? Do you know how many mother issues I have? Ask anyone. All I ever publicly journal about is my mother issues and how my distrust for women disables my penis. Furthermore, journaling extensively about that which makes me an evolved unicorn, spiritually speaking, over an oppressed gay, no shade, all love, is that I've grown or am growing out of making decisions from a space of desperation, more through experience and empathy. So, the exact reason I've had such close friendships with many self proclaimed heterosexual men, women, or otherwise is because I have self control. And through complete self acceptance, I've realized I'm more fabulous than all you hoes. So, if I'm predominantly gay and can control myself around men, then it's absurd to say I'm incapable around a female. She rearranged the facts to frame it as stalking. Said I called her landlord trying to get her evicted. She's the one who got herself on the verge of eviction. But for the record, the day after she cursed me out over the phone and texted me a kiss to taunt me, I was triggered manically and I called where I thought my money was going. I felt robbed and called the beneficiary. This was before my friend told me about small claims court. I'd never been in this position before. She said, I've been to Macy's defaming her character, trying to get her fired. I've only ever been to Macy's seeking my employment and one other time to pick up a package because I DoorDash. People, including her coworkers, approach me and compliment me because I dress so well. Then they proceed to ask who I am or what I do. I had absolutely no problem saying, well, I was here for a job, but I loaned your coworker Tiffany $600, and instead of paying me back, she instead sabotaged my employment and management erased me from the system. And the time I picked up the package for DoorDash, I got all types of manic feelings just being there that I had no problem bringing it up in conversation, a paraphrased version for a fellow black male customer service representative helping me. But I was never there to target Tiffany. Let's be clear. I never went to Macy's to specifically target her. Um, we were also so close as friends before that her friends, including Raymond, would call me via Facebook Messenger looking for her. So, when she betrayed me, I had absolutely no problem manically returning all of those phone calls. Someone I thought was my friend stole from me and tried to weaponize the police to gay bash me. My friend stole from and tried to gay bash me. My friend stole from and tried to gay bash me. Triggered is an understatement. She's a delusional, self sabotaging, manipulative, vindictive, homophobic, gold digging con artist. The utter definition of a basic broke bitch. This is what covert prejudice looks like in 2021. She is desperately attempting to flip the situation where she has a job, money, and a place to live, and I don't. Please do not have compassion for her. And please hold her completely accountable for the egregious disrespect. Because if my friends treat me like this, imagine how the outside world and workforce does. There is absolutely no logical reason why the totality of my money should not be returned immediately, especially since she didn't work last year and she doesn't want to be held accountable for that. I also feel that she is self-sabotage. I also feel that she is self-sabotaging by betraying someone who laundered $600, transported her, and still tried to pursue and split the Macy's referral bonus. I feel she wanted the government to take care of her, then Raymond, and now me. I think she's also displacing her shortcomings, the anger of losing her father, and her relationship not going as planned onto me, as though I'm beneath her because I'm gay. Tiffany's entitlement just simply refuses to return my money. Tiffany Wright is just an example of a typical black homophobic bias or homophobia, black homophobia. This is literally a prime example of what it's like to be black and gay, or rather, being for a people who are not for you. These types don't want equality, they're just jealous of the white male patriarchy and thereby want privilege. They want to be the ones doing the oppressing. It's not that I'm a threat to anything other than getting my money back. She's just biphobic and big mad because the gay nigga keeps putting her in her place. She mad because I'm vocal about my oppression and discrimination, including the Macy's sabotage, and she feels entitled to doing shady shit in the dark. My authenticity is my power. I'm the same person I've always been. I'll shine a big old rainbow spotlight on this shit. I own what happens to me. If people want me to write warmly about them, they should have acted better. So now I've won in three ways. I've hit her credit, I've increased the amount she owes to include court fees, and I've documented Macy's racist hiring discrimination, which will cause a shitstorm to avalanche from corporate onto all parties involved. And if she loses her job, fine. I'll just follow up at the next job and get my money then because I'm not the one who lacks work ethic. Oh,